So democracy is a great gift. It is a gift that has been earned in our country over many, many years, whether it be the revolutionaries in 1776, or those who fought and died for Union in the Civil War, or those who were on the beaches of Normandy, or those who fought in the civil rights issues in the 60s. Democracy is something that needs to be preserved, it needs to be taken care of. And the two greatest enemies of democracy is apathy and cynicism. And nothing creates this more, and nothing does more to damage a democracy than negative campaigning and the poison that it involves in our electoral system. What it does is it discourages very good candidates from running, and it discourages voters from participating. So I think we have here today an opportunity to change that paradigm, and I know that the next steps, which will be challenging but are very possible, is to mobilize this group of people that are the critical 5 to 10% of the voters, and that they will then take the control of the campaign, the tone of the campaign, and make sure that when someone issues an unsupported negative attack, an innuendo, that there will be consequences for that action. And if that paradigm is changed in a campaign, we will preserve democracy and improve the discourse on community subjects and issues of great concern, and involve more people in the process, and we'll all be better for it. So I salute Mr. Herrera for the fine work that he's done on this, and I'm 100% in support of this project. Thank you.
I'm a local political and communications consultant, and I know from the front lines how incredibly vile and incredibly hurtful and personal campaigns have become. These negative campaigns, they infect not only the campaigns and our electoral process, they also affect our democracy and our policy making, because elected officials and the people they defeat carry these races over into policy making and can't find a way sometimes to come together around collaborative solutions. And I think if you have a cleaner campaign, it's going to lead to more effective and more collaborative policy making. So I really applaud, again, Manuel, for doing this. It's something I've only come across recently, and it's something I think has been percolating in a lot of our hearts for the past couple of years and the past couple of election cycles. I know I've talked to a number of people out there in the community that support this effort, so please, ThePeopleSpeak.net, go there, sign up today, and find out more.
We need to uplift our democracy by being kind. I mean, the one thing that happens in an election is the campaigns are so ugly that people don't actually recover. So I commend Mr. Herrera and ThePeopleSpeak and for starting something new.
When Manuel introduced me to this project, I was on board 100% from the beginning. We need to stick to the issues, give voters a chance to hear the positive discourse, and get rid of the negativity. We want to hear how you can make our citizenship better, how you can improve our communities, and how you can make a positive difference for all of us.
I think we as voters need to take a stand and say that we're not going to put up with negative campaigning. We're going to support candidates that don't endorse those kinds of tactics.
50 years ago today, we lost a wonderful president. But remembering that president gave us a challenge. He said, we need to get to the moon. We need to put someone on the moon. And in those days, it was quite a huge challenge. And guess what? Within a decade, we were there. So now, 50 years later, this idea seems like that far away, but it's highly needed. I support the ideas of ThePeopleSpeak. It's about uplifting our democratic process. It's about campaigning and having higher standards for political campaigning. Who wouldn't want to be involved in uplifting our democratic process? So I thank Mr. Herrera for planting this seed. I just hope and I pray that it doesn't take us a decade to get there.
A few weeks ago, I was in Washington, D.C. first time in my life I had ever been in Washington, D.C., and the entire place was shut down. And it was really closed over divisive politics. And while that's at a national scale, those things that happen, at the national level happen locally too. I really do believe that the time for this has to stop, and anything that we can do to take a positive step forward to end the divisive politics and get towards collaboration instead of confrontation, it's always going to be positive. And I applaud Manuel for taking this bold step.
My mother, who used to have a saying for everything, always said that people get the government that they deserve. And we now have an opportunity not just to sit back and complain and watch the process disintegrate, but we have an opportunity to participate and make something better. And that only happens in a democracy when we come together. I'm happy to be here, and I hope that others will join this cause.
There is a goodness in the people, in the community, and that goodness, that heartfulness, that care is something that we can actually make real in our public process. There's a mayor's race coming up, 2014, mayor of San Jose. We're going to make a difference in that race for the first time. We're going to have on the field a presence that is the voice of the people, upholding higher standards, delivering rewards and consequences. On the reward side, we are offering to build an early relationship with candidates who want to be in partnership with the community in holding up standards. When I say build an early relationship, that is so difficult for campaigns and candidates to achieve because mostly voters don't pay attention. But ThePeopleSpeak is offering a reward to say, if you will join with us, we will give you our attention a lot earlier and at a much deeper level than normally would be available to you. On the consequences side, what we're saying that we should do is, first, we're going to set standards, and there'll be a process for that. And then we're going to activate a team of ThePeopleSpeak on the field, open up an office, hire a staff, have a budget for communication, both public relations and direct voter communication, so that we the people are also a presence on the field to uphold the community's own vision. So the consequences side then is to say, we're going to shine the spotlight on you. You may be in the shadows. You may have fired some kind of attack off and expect it to not affect you. But ThePeopleSpeak is going to turn the spotlight on you, identify who you are, make clear not only to the base of voters who have enrolled in this program that your messages are not to be trusted, but if you continue to work in opposition to the community's vision for higher standards, we're going to ratchet up the pressure. ThePeopleSpeak is about calling on the better angels of our nature. We do have in us a deep sense of what is good and what is right. And those better angels of our nature are violated without restraint by people who simply don't hold the community's well-being in what they do. But let's come together, let's stand together, let's move forward together. We can change what people say cannot be changed. So please go to ThePeopleSpeak.net, become a part of a movement that begins here in San Jose, Silicon Valley. But as we show how it can be done, we expect it'll start to become the new model, a new civic way of taking hold of our process for campaigning. And we'll watch it spread across the country it having been birthed here by each one of us and by each one of you who will be a part of this. Thank you all for being here today. God bless. We're moving forward.